Alright, Shalom. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call on Yahweh, Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. It's Brother Isaiah again. With another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Rakah HaKodash. Lord, when this lesson is edifying. Alright, I'm back. I just did a quick little PSA, for the brothers and sisters that may eat chips, but and I was saying in that lesson that the spirit's been having a shift towards eating healthier, and lo and behold, I came across this, man. So a bread defiled covers many different things, man. It ain't just actual bread or flour or anything like that, which, like I said, there's kind of been a shift spiritually away from certain things. All right, but even them that eat vegetables and produce, can't escape the defiled bread. All right, this is a prophecy, which the Lord is the one who facilitates health and illness and all these different things, right? But just want to give this additional PSA. All right, a parasite that causes explosive diarrhea, which is crazy, is spreading across the U.S. Here's what doctors want you to know, all right? And I want to get to the point that makes, and basically it's just saying, reported, blah, 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 explosive diarrhea from ages 5 to 86, 61% are usually women. The numbers are just the tip of the iceberg. It said, I want to read the one thing. It said, let me see. The people told health officials they got the situation going after eating U.S.-based food and did not travel 14 days prior to getting sick. So here in America, Babylon the Great is where you suffer. So let's get to the point. And it's in a lot of states, man. The majority of the cases are congregated in New York, where there are between 31 and 80. It's also in Texas, Illinois, Alaska, Colorado, Connecticut, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Massachusetts, New Jersey, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, and Wisconsin. Case counts typically rise. All right. This is the reason it says where it'll be likely to spread. It says this is a season where we get more fresh produce coming in. People are eating more salads and herbs and berries and vegetables that are often eaten raw, and therefore it is more likely that there are parasites present. They'd still be active in a live plant instead of being cooked, which would inactivate them. All right, so here, as you see, you got to be super extra careful. If brothers and sisters already wasn't, you might need to, you need to go ahead and wash them vegetables, man. With baking soda. I see people use baking soda and vinegar. They got vegetable washes that you can buy, like spray, that'll probably help. It's different ways. Since this is a recurring, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. So these things can be found on parasites. All right. There's no evidence it can be spread from from person to person. Usually, if somebody's in the same household eating the same food. Imported fresh produce, including basil, cilantro, raspberries, and snow peas, has been traced. Human stool present in the soil. Come on, man. Let's read this. Imported fresh produce has been traced to cyclosporiasis in the past, according to the them niggas. The parasite, which is shed in human stool, is likely present in the soil. Damn. Where produce is grown for export to the U.S. So it settles into the food supply. The foul bread, man. The scripture said, damn, that's literally what the scripture said, man. He was told Ezekiel to mix in human's dung, all right, into his food, because we was gonna eat defiled bread. Now, obviously, he allowed them to only use, cow dung at the time, but we're literally, from what you're seeing, getting a parasite on the food from human shit, man. It isn't like some of the other parasites where they could be shed by animals. This is really a human disease and associated with poor hygiene, human fecal waste entering the food supply, and that food then being shipped to the U.S. via imported produce. Typically, you experience it within a week after consuming the food, and it lasts a little longer than the typical 24-hour stomach bug. The hallmark is a really prolonged watery diarrhea and is often accompanied by abdominal cramping, abdominal pain, bloating, nausea, fatigue, loss of appetite. Then they say take antibiotics. And, I'm not giving no medical advice. They don't understand how it gets in there. Wash your hands good. After handling raw fruits, produce should be washed under running water. Even if it's labeled pre-washed, certain firm foods like melons and cucumbers should be scrubbed with a brush. Chemical disinfection, that's crazy. However, it is important to note that chemical disinfection or sanitization is unlikely to fully kill Cyclospora parasite. For the most part, I would say our produce is pretty safe. Important part of a healthy diet. Damn, man. Shit. And who's to tell how much of this stuff is being, introduced, let me say, intentionally, man. All right? Who knows? We can't put it past this devil, man. Can't put it past this devil. So there we go. Another defiled bread alert. All right, for the produce side of things. Be mindful. Your adversary is a roaring lion. Think who you may devour, man. Esau's out there to get people, man. All right? He's trying to eat, hey, man. But we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. All right, so I'm gonna post this one too. Hey, shalom.